Hello there. Good evening, everybody. I want to welcome you here to Prog Monster. My name is Murph. I am the host of this show, a show dedicated to progressive rock and other forms of rock music. So we're here tonight for an episode of What's New, show I do every Saturday night, in which I talk about a new album. That's an album released in this particular year of 2025. This one goes back a little bit. I was going to do it early in the year, but I knew I would buy it as soon as I got a chance to see it, which I did. A couple months ago I bought it, and I've decided to do it today. And that is this album, Pentagram. Their Lightning in a Bottle album. This is their newest album. So I think this is their 9th studio album. And they've been around since 1971, so more than 50 years, but they only have the 9 albums. So they've had big gaps in some of their album history. Don't know a ton about the band other than I know that they're a doom metal band. Excuse me. And from my listening to the album, it's definitely doom metal. So I'll give you the vitals first and then we'll talk about the album. So this was released January 31st, 2025. So now going about 6 months ago. Heavy Head Recording Studio. It's about 52 minutes along with just the normal 11 tracks, and then there's also 3 bonus tracks on this particular copy of the album. It's on the Heavy Psych Sounding Records and produced by Tony Reed. Personnel on the album, of course, you've got Bobby LeBlanc. Sorry, I need my glasses so I can actually see what I'm writing. Bobby LeBlanc. I'm not sure if that's how you pronounce his name. I assume that is. That's how it's spelled. He's the vocalist and the kind of original member that has stuck with the band throughout the history of the band, so far as I understand. Tony Reed on guitars, Scooter Haslip on bass, and Henry Vasquez on the drums. So I'll give you a general overall view of the album. Very heavy, very beefy, very doom metalish. Some tracks it almost crosses into that Sabbath sound. There's quite a bit of Sabbath flavor to the album. Vocals, definitely in Ozzy's range, but you would never mistake this guy for Ozzy. So to me, that's the difference here. But a lot of the metal sounds throughout the album, very thick and beefy guitar playing, heavy pounding drums. The solos are really kind of typical metal sounding, really screechy, really heavy, really beefy. Some of them are fairly lengthy as well. Overall, some really decent tracks on this album. I do like this album a lot. The only if you had a couple downsides with the album is the only downside for me is I'm not as crazy about his lyrics. Some of the lyrics are quite good. Others are a little bit almost childlike, if you want to go there. Not much of that. There's not a lot of that. There is a little bit of it, though. So overall, that's my overall impression of the album. So I'll break down the tracks a little bit individually, as we normally do, and just so I give you a chance to see the entire inside of the album as well. The one thing I didn't mention, and you can see that with the album cover, it's got a very psychedelic element. There's the picture of the band members there, 4 of them. Yeah, so very metalish, but also got a fair bit of psychedelic flavor to it. A couple tracks in particular have a very psychedelic flavor to them. So there are, like I said, 11, I believe there's 11 tracks on the regular album, plus the 3 bonus tracks, which I'm not going to talk too much about. Opens up with Live Again, which is the opening track here. It's got a heavy guitar, dominates to begin with a pretty good solo, and the vocals are heavy, but a little bit scrappy on this opening track. This was one of those tracks I didn't really care for the lyrical part to it. It was the only track on the album, that I can see that actually didn't get a very great rating. It passed, but just barely. But the only one like that, really. So it gets much better after that. In the Panic Room is next up. Catchy, heavy riff, kind of a metal sound to it, of course. So most of the album is going to have that. The vocals are dominant, but also very forward in the mix on this particular track. I Spoke to Death is the next track. Slow, melodic, beefy guitars, very catchy guitar riffs, very heavy metal sounding track, deep, dark vocals here. It's almost a Sabbath-like doom metal track. If you didn't hear the vocals, you would think this is kind of from a Sabbath song, from a Sabbath album. Yeah, just a really heavy, beefy solo, reminiscent of Iomi. Probably, if I'm being honest here, I think this is probably my favorite track on the album, Spoke to Death. Yeah, just really classic doom metal sound. Next up is Dull Pain, and all these songs, for the most part, are about 3 minutes in length. There are a couple ones that are a bit longer. A couple of the back tracks are like in the 4-minute range, one song over 5, but pretty much in the 3-minute range. Couple tracks are a little under that, like in the 2-minute range, but pretty much that's their formula for the album. Next up is Dull Pain, another melodic, heavy, beefy guitar riff to open. Vocals again, deep and dark and heavy. I like this track a lot too. Slow, melodic, heavy solo, catchy as hell. So this is very doom metal, and when I think of doom metal, I think of that slow, grinding kind of heaviness. This is definitely a track that falls in that, and another track I like quite a bit. And the next one completes that trifecta of great songs in a row. Lady Heroine. This one is very different though. It's heavy, it's dominated by drums to open, and then you have this following, this very fast and beefy guitar part. The vocals are very psychedelic on this song, and very distorted in some ways as well. It's just got a slow psychedelic feel to the entire track. The heavy guitar riff, the finish, fantastic tune. Very almost Planet Caravana type thing going on here, but heavier. Next up, I'll Certainly See You in Hell. This is a heavy but faster paced track. The vocals are distorted, heavy, beefy, and melodic guitar solo as well. This one's a little bit faster than most of the other songs. Next up is Thunder Crest. It's a melodic, heavy song. Of course, got a bit of a whiny, beefy sound to the guitar solo. It's kind of almost like he's wrenching the guitar a bit. Vocals are forward, very frontal, and it's a bit of a faster paced track as well. Next up is Solve the Puzzle. This is a heavy, beefy track. Vocals are distorted. This one's a little bit more of that psychedelic feel to it at times. Fast paced. And heavy guitar solo, very Sabbath-like guitar solo at the end. I'm going to flip over for the final 3 tracks that I have on my notes. All 3 tracks good. The last track I liked probably the least of the 3, but still all 3 of them got a 6 to 7 range. 6.5, I guess, would be the number. Spread Your Wings is the track that we're talking about now. Heavy, beefy opening with a melodic, slow, heavy guitar solo. It's slowed down vocals. He's like almost like painfully punching them out here. A more, I would say this is a thick, beefy track overall, and very slow and melodic. It's a great track though. Lightning in a Bottle, which is the title track, coming down here. Slow, melodic, heavy riff. The last 3 songs are all like this. They're all slow, melodic, heavy, beefy riff. Very doom metalish. There's a haunting part to this particular song that's really good too. It's crushing at times. The vocals are dominant, very forward, very heavy. It speeds up towards the end because of the guitar solo. And then the final track, Walk the Psychopath. I think that's the name of it. Let me just check here. Walk the Psychopath, yeah. So slow, heavy, beefy, melodic opening, pretty standard. The vocals are heavy forward. This is a very Iron Man-ish sounding track. If you like that song Iron Man, you like that heavy but very beefy and pounding like track, you'll like this as well. So overall, a very strong album, I think. I like it. Definitely a band I'll be checking out some of their back stuff. I haven't, at this point in time, gone back. When I bought this album, it was in the rack, so I didn't realize it was a new album until I got it home. And then I thought, wow, this is the album I was looking at earlier in the year. And I do like the cover. It's very psychedelic, very colorful as well. Interesting choice of green. Orion women, I guess you might want to call it. Yeah, so good doom metal album. You like that kind of Masters of Reality kind of crunching guitar stuff, you're going to get a lot of that here. You'll like it. So that's the album for today. Pentagram's Lightning in a Bottle, released in January of this year. I hope you like that. Please hit the like and subscribe. If you want to put any comments on this album or the band in general or doom metal or anything related to the video, you can do that in the comment section below. I try to answer everything. I like to answer everything. I'm one of those people who I enjoy that. And so if you want to do it, you can go right ahead in the comment section, and we will be back next week with another episode of What's New featuring Alice Cooper. So take care, have a good one, and goodbye.